Hello, research leaders applicants. In this presentation, I will discuss about application part B1, which is the core part of your research proposal. It contains the details of the proposed research and training activities along with the practical arrangements planned to implement them. The maximum total length of this document is 15 pages, excluding this title page. Overall page limit will be strictly applied. After submission, excess pages will be deleted and will not be taken into consideration by the evaluators. Part B1 has main three sections: excellence, impact, and implementation. Proposals must respect the minimum standards such as minimum font size of 11, except for Gantt chart and tables where you can use minimum font size 8, single line spacing in A4 page size, margins in top, bottom, left, right of at least 15 mm with clearly readable font such as Arial, Calibri, or Times New Roman. Footnotes are to be used exclusively for literature references, and their minimum font size should be 8, and they also count towards the page limit. Please note that Part B1 is similar to the Marie Curie Individual Fellowship Part B1, but it is not exactly the same. So you can't copy and paste the information from your Marie Curie Individual Fellowship application to Research Leaders 2025 application. Now, for this application, three main criteria will be considered while evaluating the proposal: excellence, impact, and implementation. The final score will be out of 100, where excellence accounting for 50%, impact accounting for 30%, and implementation accounting for 20%. Evaluators will mark each section separately. For more information, please look at the evaluation criteria on page number 21 in core document. In order to score more higher in so each criterion has to be addressed with sufficient details. Ensure that you allocate adequate time to preparing each section. Now, I will go through each criterion in detail. So, the first criterion is excellence, which accounts 50% of total score. So, excellence is about the quality and novelty of research, the training activities in the project, the capacity of the researcher, the scientific supervisor, and their interaction. The excellence is composed of four sub-criteria. So, the first criterion under excellence deals with the quality and credibility of the research and innovation project, level of novelty, appropriate consideration of inter or multidisciplinarity, and gender aspects. So, what we consider here: the state of the art, objectives and overview of the research project, completeness and appropriateness of the research methodology and approach, originality and innovative aspects of the research program, gender aspects if relevant, interdisciplinary aspect if relevant, how the high quality novel research will open up the best career possibilities of the researcher. So, here I would like to highlight the main thing in gender aspect point, that a topic is considered gender relevant where human beings are involved as subjects or end users, and it can be expected that its finding will affect groups of women and men differently. In such cases, applicants should integrate gender issues as a part of their proposals. Please note that the gender balance in research teams is not relevant. If you feel that the gender dimension is not relevant to your proposal, you should explain that, and if it is relevant, then you should demonstrate how you will address this gender aspect. Now, the second criterion under excellence is quality and appropriateness of training and the two-way transfer of knowledge between the researcher and the host. So, here you need to outline how a two-way transfer of knowledge will occur between the researcher and the host organizations. And for this section, you need to answer three main questions. Transfer previously acquired knowledge and skill from researcher to the host organization. How will the researcher gain new knowledge during the fellowship at the outgoing phase hosting organization? And how will the new skills and knowledge acquired from the host organization will be transferred back to the CHAGASC? Now, section 1.3 is about quality of the supervision and the integration in the team or institution. Here you need to describe the qualification and experience of all your supervisory team. That means check-in supervisor, outgoing phase supervisor, and third member or secondment supervisor if relevant. You have to provide information regarding the supervisor's level of experience on the research topic which you are proposing and their track record of work, including main international collaboration, as well as their level of experience in supervising or training advanced level of researchers such as PhDs or postdocs. Please note that the supervisor's CV will be considered during the evaluation of this part. In terms of hosting arrangements, which consider the integration of researcher within the team or institution, the nature and quality of the research group or environment, measures taken to integrate the researcher in the different area of expertise or disciplines, international networking opportunities the host could offer, and assess the hosting arrangements for both outgoing and return phases. Now, what is the difference between the sub-criterion 1.3 in excellence, which we have it here, and sub-criterion 3.3 in implementation, which we will deal with later? So some of these sub-criteria seem to overlapping, so we would like to make the distinction and make it clear what's the difference. So the hosting arrangements, which are part of sub-criterion 1.3, refer to the integration of researcher in new environment at the host premises, whereas the infrastructure facility which host will offer in order to successful completion of the research work is a part of implementation sub-criterion 3.3, and you need to provide information about the infrastructure facility in sub-criterion 3.3. Now, section 1.4 is the capacity of the applicant to reach or reinforce a position of professional maturity or independence. Here, applicants should demonstrate how will your past professional experience and proposed research and training activities contribute to your professional development as an independent or mature researcher during the fellowship. So, applicant CV in Part B2, Section 4.1 will be considered to evaluate this section. Please keep in mind that the fellowships will be awarded to the most talented researchers as shown by the proposed research and their track record in relation to their level of experience. So, what I want to make a point here is your talent and achievements will be considered based on the proportion of your level of experience. For example, if there are two applicants and one has recently finished PhD and one has more than 5 years of postdoc experience, so these applicants would have vast difference in their achievements. So your achievements will be compared with likewise candidate who has similar level of experience. Now another main point is about career break. So as mentioned in the call document that applicants who have taken a career break will not be disadvantaged. The length of time spent on career break will be taken into account in evaluating the applicant's achievements to date. So please clearly outline any career break that has been taken in Part B2, Section 4.1.2 and Section 4.1.3 because, as I mentioned earlier, that your CV will be considered to evaluate this section. Now, be careful while providing information in Section 1.4 under Excellence and Section 2.1 in Impact. So, what is the difference between these sections? So, in section 4 1.4, you have to provide information of your past experience and this proposed research. How will they help you to professionally develop independent researcher during the fellowship? Whereas in section 2.1 in Impact, you have to explain how this fellowship will be helpful to achieve your future career goal after the fellowship. So, to obtain more score, it is very important to understand the difference between the questions and to provide the relevant information in the respective subsections.